When walking through the grocery store, figuring out which wine you should pick with your meal, there are a few things you should take into consideration. There are a few things you should remember when choosing a wine. Match not only the flavor, but the intensity of flavor and the weight. A heavy alcoholic wine will not go well with a delicate dish. Sweet food makes dry wine taste very unpleasant. You should always drink white wine before red and light wine before heavy wines because the palate needs to adjust. And last, white wine is better than red wine for cheese. A Merlot is a powerful red wine yet softer than a Cabernet. It produces a plum, mint, or black cherry flavor. Pinot Noir is originally from Burgundy, France. It is a hard wine to grow and produce. In France, it portrays flavors of raspberries and blueberries. In America, it portrays a flavor of exotic plums and warrants. Shiraz is a great Australian red wine. It is most popular in America and South Africa. The wine from these grapes has great depth of fruits, blackberries, plums, and mellowness of chocolate. It is a great wine for vegetarians because it pairs well with vegetables and fruits. Cabernet Sauvignon is a France wine that can now be found all over the world. It is a very bold, red, spicy wine. It is known to have a green bell pepper flavor with hints of mint and eucalyptus. Zinfandel is one of the oldest wines in America, brought to California from France in the mid-1800s. It is properly served as a red wine, but can also be a white. It is typically either dry and smooth or rich and fruity. Riesling is originally from Germany. Its grape produces a light, very sweet white wine. It is great for summer pairings and also desserts, and is very typically inexpensive. The grapes of Pinot Grigio have produced a rich, full-bodied white wine. It has fastly became one of the most popular white wines in America due to the thousands of acres of vineyards in Oregon and Canada. Sauvignon Blanc, depending on where it is grown, can produce either a delightfully tangy flavor or an undesirable flavor. It can be produced in two different ways, either fermented in still barrels and produced young, or aged in oak barrels and kept for years. Chardonnay is one of the easiest produced wine. It is the king of white wines, and it is very hard to find a dish that it does not pair well with. It is a very versatile wine that can usually be oaky. Now I will explain to you which wines go better with which foods such as pork, fish, and chicken. Remember, when using a white wine, you'll want to use a smaller white wine glass. Whenever using a red wine, you'll want to use a more full-bodied red wine glass. When roasting or grilling beef with peppercorn, onion, garlic, or horseradish, Chianti would be a good wine, Merlot would be a great wine, but Cabernet Sauvignon would be the best wine. Now on to pastas. When making a pasta with tomato sauce, Merlot would be a good wine. Chianti would be a great wine, but the best wine for a pasta with red sauce would be a Zinfandel. When making a pasta with a sauce like basil, which is a little thicker, Shiraz would be a good wine, Chardonnay would be a great wine, and the best wine would be Merlot. For a creamy base pasta, a Chardonnay would be good, but a Pinot Noir would be even better. Now on to chicken and pork. When baking and grilling it in garlic sauce, a Riesling would be good, a Sauvignon would be great, and a white Zin would be even better. When making a more cheesier and saucy chicken dish, such as chicken parmesan, Pinot Noir would be good, Pinot Grigio would be better, but a Chardonnay would be best. When making a heavier, richer, and more thicker dish, such as chicken marsala, Chardonnay would be a good choice, but you'd much rather go with a red wine, such as Merlot, which would be a better choice, but the best choice would be a Pinot Noir full of flavor. When dealing with a more traditional chicken dish, such as barbecue chicken, a red Zinfandel would be tasty, a Merlot would be tastier, but the tastiest would be the white Zinfandel to balance out the sweetness. Now on to seafood. When eating a darker fish, such as salmon, tuna, snapper, swordfish, or shark, a Merlot would be a good wine. A Chardonnay would be a great wine, but the best wine would be a Pinot Noir for a darker fish. When eating a lighter fish, such as halibut, tilapia, or sea bass, a Pinot Grigio would be good, a Sauvignon Blanc would be great, but the best would be a Chardonnay if you were eating a lighter fish, such as sea bass.